When my mom found out how much I was earning, her entire attitude toward me changed overnight. Suddenly, I wasn't her daughter anymore, I was her personal bank. But the worst part? My spoiled brother, Ryan, teamed up with her to demand everything I had worked for. They didn't expect that their greed would destroy everything they held dear. Can you imagine your own family turning against you, just because you finally became successful? I grew up in a small town with my mom, Linda, and my younger brother, Ryan. My dad passed away when I was 12, and after that, everything in our house revolved around Ryan. He was Mom's golden boy. If he got a C on a test, Mom said the teacher was unfair. If I got an A, she said, well, that's what's expected from you, Emma. It always felt like I was raising myself. I cooked, I cleaned, and when Mom needed something, I did it. Meanwhile, Ryan lounged around, playing games, and somehow, he was always too tired to help. When I graduated high school, I got a scholarship to study computer science. I was so proud, until the day I told Mom. She frowned and said, why don't you just stay here? Ryan might need you to help with his college prep. That sentence still stings. My dream didn't matter, only Ryan's comfort did. I left home anyway. I had to. College wasn't easy. I worked part-time jobs, barely slept, and often cried myself to sleep from exhaustion. But something inside me kept pushing. I wanted to build a life where I didn't depend on anyone's approval. Fast forward a few years, I got a job at a tech company in the city. I started at the bottom, but after years of hard work, I was promoted to project manager. My salary jumped. For the first time, I could breathe. I moved into a cozy apartment, decorated it with soft colors, and even sent Mom small gifts, just because I wanted her to know I still cared. She never said thank you. Instead, she'd say things like, oh, Ryan could use a new laptop too. Why don't you send him one? Ryan, by the way, hadn't changed. He dropped out of college after one semester and kept asking Mom for money to start a business. None of those businesses ever existed. Everything started to unravel one Sunday evening. Mom called out of the blue and asked, Emma, honey, what's your salary now? Her tone was unusually sweet, almost too sweet. I hesitated. Why? Oh, just curious. You've been working so hard, I want to brag a little about my successful daughter. I wanted to believe her. So, stupidly, I told her. She went silent for a moment, then said, oh my God, that's more than I ever made in my life. I laughed nervously, but something in her voice changed. The next week, things got weird. She started sending me urgent messages about bills, home repairs, and how Ryan's car broke down. I sent money at first. I felt guilty. After all, they were family. But soon it wasn't requests, it was demands. Emma, we need $2,000 for the roof. Ryan needs $1,500 for his business license. Don't be selfish, you make enough. It became never-ending. One night, I checked my savings and realized I'd sent over $10,000 in just 3 months. I called Mom and said, I can't keep doing this. She snapped, excuse me? You think you're too good for your family now? That sentence broke something in me. A few weeks later, Mom and Ryan showed up at my apartment unannounced. I opened the door and froze. They had suitcases. Mom smiled like it was normal. We thought we'd stay here for a while. It's closer to the city, and you have so much space. I couldn't believe it. I stammered, what? You can't just move in without asking. Ryan pushed past me and said, chill, sis. You've got plenty of room. Besides, we're family. For the next few days, they treated my apartment like a hotel. Mom took over my bedroom because it was too small for her in the guest room. Ryan slept till noon and ate all my groceries. I came home from work one evening to find Mom in my closet. She was holding one of my dresses. You spend so much money on clothes, Emma. Maybe you could sell some and help us more. I lost it. Mom, this is my money. I earned it. She crossed her arms and said coldly, if your father were alive, he'd want you to take care of your family. Don't you have any shame? I wanted to scream. But instead, I said quietly, you need to leave. She scoffed. Fine. But don't come crying when you realize money can't buy love. They left that night, slamming the door. I cried for hours, not because they were gone, but because I realized they never saw me as family. Only as a wallet. For a few weeks, I didn't hear from them. Then one morning, I woke up to dozens of missed calls and texts. Ryan had posted on Facebook, saying, some people forget where they came from. Even family. Money changes people. He didn't mention names, but everyone knew he meant me. Relatives started messaging, asking why I'd abandoned my mom. I was humiliated. But instead of reacting, I decided to be smart. I blocked them both and focused on work. I poured all that pain into success. A year later, I was promoted again, this time to department head. I earned triple my old salary. One afternoon, I got an email from Mom. The subject line read, we need your help. Curiosity got the better of me. I opened it. Ryan had been arrested for fraud. He'd borrowed money from relatives to fund another business, and couldn't pay it back. Mom begged me to cover his debts. I stared at the screen, trembling with a mix of sadness and disbelief. Part of me wanted to help. But another part, the one that remembered all the nights I cried alone, told me not to. So I wrote back. Mom, I love you. But every time I've tried to help, you've taken advantage of me. I can't fix Ryan's mistakes. Maybe this will teach him responsibility. She didn't reply. Months later, I heard through a cousin that Mom had sold her house to pay off Ryan's debts. They moved into a small apartment on the outskirts of town. For a while, guilt ate at me. I wondered if I'd done the right thing. Then one day, Mom called me unexpectedly. Her voice was shaky. Emma, she said softly, I'm sorry. I froze. I had never heard those words from her before. She continued, I was so proud of you, but instead of showing it, I let jealousy and fear control me. I thought if I kept you close, even by guilt, I wouldn't lose you. But I did. I'm sorry for everything. Tears filled my eyes. For the first time, she sounded sincere. We talked for an hour. She didn't ask for money. She just wanted to say sorry. Ryan, on the other hand, never called. Last I heard, he was working odd jobs. Now, years later, I've built the life I always dreamed of. I own my own house, and not to show off, but as a symbol of everything I survived. Mom and I are slowly rebuilding our relationship, though I keep firm boundaries. Sometimes, when I look back, I realize this wasn't just about money. It was about respect. About realizing that love without boundaries becomes manipulation. If you've ever had family take advantage of your success, I get it. It hurts more than anything. But sometimes, the most powerful revenge is peace, living well without letting their greed destroy you. What would you do if your own family demanded everything you worked for? Would you give in, or finally stand up for yourself? I learned that family doesn't mean blind sacrifice. Real love doesn't demand your success, it celebrates it. Mom eventually admitted that losing me made her realize how wrong she'd been. And as for Ryan? He finally learned what it feels like to work for something on his own. Maybe that's karma. Maybe that's justice. Either way, I'm at peace. Because this time, I chose myself.